You're welcome to Save Blood Arena on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This program is brought to you courtesy Lagos State Blood Transfusion Services. And my name is Dele Agadumo. Today on the program, I have again the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Blood Transfusion Services, Dr. Boduri Oshikomaya. Good evening.
Good evening. It's good to see you once again.
Same here. Good to see you too. And of course, I have Mr. Uluwale Olatubi. He's the head programs LSBTS. Good evening again.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having us.
All right. So today on the program, we're discussing the role of government in ensuring availability of safe blood in this prevailing economic period, and how the LSBTS has supported voluntary blood donation. All right then. So let's begin by, let me ask the Executive Secretary, how has the current economic reality impacted the number of voluntary blood donors so far and the frequency of voluntary blood donation?
So the first thing is there's this general thought that there isn't a lot of things. There is no food. So the first thing that comes, do you want to donate blood? No, I don't have money for food. You know, even before you check, there is this constant reluctance to donate blood, irrespective of if you're fit or not. And that could be quite discouraging because even when another person that is willing to donate blood hears that, they all just go on and flow with that same notion that since there seems to be a lot of difficulties around, that definitely they do not want to donate blood. So in a way, it has in the past few weeks, it has reduced the number of voluntary blood donors, in that other drives, especially during Valentine blood drives, we actually expected so much more. Usually in February, we have our voluntary donors going into close to thousands, maybe averagely 1,000, 1,500. This particular period, we have about half that number. And we do understand all that is happening, even though we anticipated this, and so we had some preparations and plans. Also, usually we would have had more voluntary donation drives requests. Well, it is neither here or there. We usually do expect a little bit more, especially towards the fasting period. Usually we have a little bit of peak of donation before the fasting period. A lot of our Muslim brothers would have called, they want to donate blood before fasting to do something good. I think it adds to the value or the quality of the fast. But we haven't had that surge. Everything is just plateaued for now.
So that means it could also affect the Christians who have started the Lent.
Well, the Christians are already fasting, so they can't tell me that they need food. They're supposed to be fasting right now.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, so did you have that kind of decline or surge before the start of Lent?
So before the start of Lent, we didn't really notice it. But usually with the voluntary blood donation drive during the Valentine period, there's usually a little bit surge. It might also be partly due to the Christian Lent, but usually it's not all Christians that fast during Lent. It's not like a compulsory rite, which was compared to the Muslims, that is a compulsory rite. So I think the economic situation has added to it, especially from feedback of our donors. We need food, there's no food, I don't have money for this, and really, irrespective of their present clinical condition, that notion of it discourages them to want to give blood.
So what is LSBTS's role in, to ease the current economic realities, especially as regards safe blood availability, especially for those who need it? What's your role? So it can't be easy. We start talking about this.
Really, we did anticipate this, and that is why I listened to last week's program, and I remember the head of programs telling the Lagosians and everybody listening to this program that we have been giving food packs. We have raw food packs. We have cooked food packs. We have even added some things for groups. We give them support in their transportation fare.
Okay.
And however, we have been doing this for a while, really, but we have just increased it in recent times. So usually, when we go for voluntary donation drives in tertiary institutions where we have lots of students or in the community, we usually ask them what they want, and they will tell us that, oh, please don't bring bags. We have enough bags this time. We don't want bottles. Just give us some rice. Just give us some gari. So we, for this period, we did make some food packs made of gari, spaghetti, sugar. Some people even had semo, and it was nice, really, really nice. So we did anticipate it, and we plan to continue doing this, especially with what Mr. Governor has done, and he's doing more for us. All these things we're doing, it's not the blood transfusion service that is exactly doing it. It is our own governor, Mr. Governor, that has provided the funds and has encouraged that initiative to ensure that everybody is not left behind during this period, that we are all supported, both with respect to health as in and as in a stomach too. Apart from that, we do a lot of other things. Apart from the transportation fare, we have something called the donor retention plan, really. And the things we give is a part of the donor retention plan. We also try to talk to people and encourage people, really. And sometimes people just want to talk to somebody, especially during this period. Oh, it is so tough, and you're like, yes, we know it is tough, but we are going to get through it. So we have encouraged the workers at the donor unit, because it's really it's a healthy environment. So encourage our staff to talk and commune with the clients, give everybody a smile. Don't tell the donors that you donated blood 2 hours ago, it's time to go. Some of them just want to have a bit of cool air from the AC. Some of us just want to watch a little bit of television. So some of us just want to play games. So we have also brought in social activities. You will see us with table games on the tables. You see different Scrabbles and card games, just for you to be relaxed before you go out there again. So those are some of the things we do. It's really a lot in the donor retention plan, but that's just a little bit that Mr. Governor supported us with to ensure that everybody feels good during this period.
So do you have any additional supports, maybe from corporate organizations, aside from what the government has, donated?
Well, I would say that 95% of the things we do at the blood transfusion service is from Mr. Governor. We rarely collect donations from other people. And when donations come, they come in form of souvenirs. We encourage people that want to donate that you make it a branded souvenir. So if the company is, for example, Bordering Limited, and you want to donate to Lagos, we say, okay, just brand it. And so that you don't know also it's a form of visibility and everything like that.
So then what is done to people who want to donate blood right now, but they cannot give blood due to different reasons? I know we've talked about religious beliefs, we've talked about that. So what is done to them, to help keep their hearts or their minds at rest about donations?
So this is an interesting one. So people that are unable to donate blood despite the desire to do them, we usually call them deferrals. They could be permanent, they could be temporary. So it's a real big topic talking about donor deferrals. I think I will just concentrate a little bit on the temporary ones so that I can come back. So you could be temporarily deferred from donating blood for different reasons. And the commonest is when you don't have adequate blood. We always check you before we collect blood. So the commonest reason is if you don't have enough. So if you do not have enough to give, you might have enough for yourself. And if you do not have enough to give, we'll give you hematinics, like blood tonics. And because we want you to come back, we don't want you to lose. We don't want to lose you out to the environment. So we are concerned about your health, yes. And then we give you blood tonics. We give you an appointment. Usually ranges from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. For you to take just drugs. We encourage, teach you about healthy diets. Encourage to take more vegetables. Encourage to take a lot of water. Encourage to take fruits. And then we encourage you to come back during that period. We have something called the customer relationship messenger tool, where we send you reminders. You have not donated for this reason. Are you eating well? And we're expecting you at this particular period. There are other reasons why we also tell you not to donate. If it's due to a clinical condition, for example, poorly controlled hypertension, for example, hypotension, and when you have a high level of blood, or if the blood is abysmally low, or there are so many conditions, or if you notice some clinical conditions on your skin, we care for you enough. We will refer you to the right person, refer you to doctors, and expect to get a response back from the doctors. So we don't just leave our donors to go when you're able. And there's another reason I should tell you.
Okay.
People that have low weights.
Okay.
Just please eat. You know, it's so, and they're the most frustrated because you're like, see, I can't have been 45 kilograms for all my life. How can I be heavier? You know, so just tell them that just continue to eat. There is no problem with you. So there are different reasons. I am sure that we will consider talking a little bit more about donor deferrals next time.
All right, it's still Safe Blood Arena on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Quickly, we have this update from Dele Agadumo. The return journey within the area of Courage is still looking good with no record of impediment, particularly movement from Agadumo Bridge inward doing Orile is still looking calm. And movement Alaba connecting Mile 2 is also a good one. And we have traffic managers very much on ground doing the needful. Also for Yanopaja Igbeda axis, Abeokuta Expressway is on the high side from Araromi and the opposite journey inward Yanopaja underneath the bridge. This is due to high volume of traffic and coupled with the menace of commercial buses along that road. Then we have traffic managers on ground. Alagwa roundabout on route Yanopaja flyover is still very good, mostly from Mashalashi roundabout, Inward Express, and the return journey. Traffic managers, of course, are also on ground doing the needful. So let's discuss the urgent need to ensure the availability of safe blood for all those who require it. We've talked from the beginning of the program that once blood is collected, it has to go through a certain process to make sure that it is safe for transfusion. We've talked about the fact, we talked about blood security and all of that. So why is there still this urgent need? I think 2 weeks ago, I asked a question from Mr. Olatubi about why, if someone is buying blood and then you require someone else to come donate as a replacement, why is that constantly there? Why is that process there?
Okay, you asked two different questions. So first of all, why is there a constant urgent need?
Yes.
We know that blood has no substitute. So really, it can only be produced from the body. And so people have to continue to donate blood. We also know that blood does not last for a lifetime. It has got a particular lifespan. So if it is with a particular anticoagulant, it can last between 35 days to 42 days. Using the commonly worn, the anticoagulants are common bags, blood bags that we have here in Nigeria, it is 35 days. So if you donate your blood now, even if nobody uses it, which is really rare, within 35 days it becomes unusable. So you need a constant replacement and replenishment of the blood bank by that donation. So that is why there is a constant need. Apart from that, we are beginning to do more specialized surgeries. We are having more people, more diagnostic means. So we are beginning to discover a lot of illnesses and conditions that needs blood for its management. So the need is also becoming more, despite the fact that less people or few people are donating that blood. So it's really important that we donate blood to be able to continue to replenish the stock for blood. The second question is, why is there a constant replacement of blood? If we had voluntary donors, voluntary donors they know when to donate blood. They don't need to be forced to donate blood. The voluntary donor will tell you that, oh, I donate 3 to 4 times a year. They know when to donate blood. We don't even need to get a reminder to come and donate blood. But a replacement donor only does it when they are forced to do it. So it can be directly forced or indirectly forced. Or somebody is ill, it is an indirect reason for you to donate blood. It doesn't come out of your free will. If that person was not ill, you do not want to donate blood. So they could do it once in a year, they could do it once in a lifetime even. And so that is not enough donation to meet the ongoing need. And that is why we still have replacement donors. If every replacement donor becomes a voluntary donor, I can assure you that the need for blood and the way we keep talking about blood will not continue to rise like this.
Quickly, for a person who has been a voluntary blood donor for a while, and maybe for some reason or the other, the person is not able to continue that donation, maybe due to an ailment or something, what process is that person supposed to go through before he or she can begin to? I mean, you said something just now. The person may be willing, but
so if
not able to.
Yeah. So if you've been a voluntary donor before and unable to donate blood any longer, we just tell you. So most of the time, voluntary donors they always inform the voluntary donation centers that they're unable to donate again, because they will regularly receive messages from us. So if they're unable to donate, they would have sent a message, oh, I have this clinical condition, I cannot donate. Because I told you once before that voluntary blood donors, they're very open, they are very, very truthful. So they usually reach out to us that, see, I can't donate blood for this reason or that, but we don't take their name or their numbers off the voluntary donation list. We kind of make them advocates of donor, because if you are being a voluntary donor and you continue to receive messages of our activities, they are usually quick to tell others to donate blood. So we don't force them to donate, but we encourage them to tell others to donate blood. They don't need to do anything special. All they need to do is to voluntarily withdraw from that voluntary blood donation pool, because their health is actually important to us too.
It is. All right, let me take a pause and come back to the head of programs. Now, how can interested persons be enrolled as voluntary blood donors?
Well, thank you very much for that question. Well, they can walk into any of our centers, any of our Lagos State Blood Transfusion centers. We have one at Bagada General Hospital. We have one at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. And we also have another one at General Hospital, Lagos Odo, in Lagos. They can also there's a need for them to familiarize themselves with our activities by following us on our social media handles. That is on Facebook, Lagos Blood Transfusion, Instagram, Lagos State Blood Transfusion, and on Twitter, Lagos BTS, so that they can know of our activities. Because you can also come in when we have our voluntary blood drives, like on the 29th of this month at Mile 12 in Lagos. We'll be having a voluntary blood drive on the 29th at Mile 12 Market. Exactly. So they could join us there, and they could also walk into the 31 general hospitals that we have now in Lagos State. They could walk into any of them, and of course, they would, after going through the process, the screening process, if they are fit, they would be, they will be bled and they will be enrolled on our register. Not all of them will be. We are going to have sometimes in the future, we are going to have a program, a session where we will talk about deferrals, what happens when you're deferred from donating blood. And I remember in the past, you asked a question about benefits of voluntary blood donation. Right, what benefits they stand to gain. So in furtherance to what my executive secretary here, Dr. Borashima, is saying, was trying to say is that about the replacement donors, the questions you ask. So once you become a voluntary blood donor, you have a card that doesn't allow you to replace blood that you use, because it's like a bank. You are storing your blood. So anytime you need your blood, you just go to that bank and just take it. Once you have that donor card, so that's a clear advantage. So that privilege is extended to you and your immediate family members. Yeah, exactly. So for that person, if that person was a voluntary donor, when you called me, he just needs to show his card. And if he has any problem, you can always call any of our numbers. That's why it's very important that you familiarize yourself with the activities. You go to our social media pages, and whatever concerns, whatever questions, queries, you can always drop it there. We respond to it. Yes.
Quickly, let me ask Dr. Oshikomaya this question. Everybody who donates blood, the person becomes a member of the community. What will disqualify a person from being a member of that blood donors community?
So it is just what you call the donor eligibility criteria that we're talking about. So from after donating blood, getting out of the community after donating blood, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Usually, the commonest reason why they are removed from the community is if you have any of the transfusion transmissible infectious agents.
Okay.
So you donated before. You know, at the blood transfusion center, you do not do a pre-donation test for all the infectious agents. Instead, the test is done after you've donated using a fully automated technology, which is really, really sensitive. So if it becomes out positive, you automatically are removed from that pool. So if you're HIV positive, or hepatitis B or C positive, or there is a positive syphilis antibody that in your system will reach out to you. Remember that I would have counseled you about it before even doing it. So that is usually the commonest reason why people leave the voluntary blood donation pool. Other reasons are usually because of illnesses like severe illnesses like heart conditions, stroke. They are really the commonest reasons why people donate and why people are removed from that pool. And we've also had a few people that over time they suddenly became gays over time. You know, those communities, once they get to know about, they'll tell you that, see, before now I was donating blood, but now I am this, I'm unable to donate blood, because I know that it is part of the questions you ask about. So really, there are very, very few reasons why people leave the voluntary donation pool. The commonest, as I said, is when you have a positive infection.
Okay. So basically, those people in that particular community are not eligible to be a part of the VBD.
Yes, so until otherwise promoted, we have other policies. Once you're in that community, you are not allowed to donate blood because of the risk. There's usually higher risks of having transfusion transmissible infections compared to people in the general community.
Okay. All right. That's more information for me, at least. So when I'm doing my advocacy or talking to people, at least I know I have a fair idea of, you know.
I'm sure many other people have a fair idea.
Yes.
Because I was just looking at my phone recently and somebody said, that's on the BTS line.
Okay.
And Freddy said, please, when are you going to talk about the deferrals? And I was just going to tell him that we need to give a date. We will let you know. We'll let you know. I know he's one of our regular voluntary donors that I sent him this message.
We should get to talk about it also. I mean, we can't deny the existence, so we will talk about it also. All right, but thank you very much. Again, let's have the social media handles.
Okay, so on Facebook, Lagos Blood Transfusion on Facebook. On Instagram is Lagos State Blood Transfusion. On Twitter, it is Lagos BTS. And our telephone number is 080-6920-7914. I'll repeat that, 080-6920-7914.
Okay, looks like we have a caller. Hello? 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 Anybody there?
Yes.
Good evening. Yes, good evening. Traffic Radio, good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Well done.
Thank you.
But I want to ask a question.
Okay.
During the donation of blood, if the person faints.
If the person faints.
It faints.
Okay.
The person donating the blood now faints during the process.
Okay.
What will happen or what will they do?
Okay, listen over your radio, ma'am.
When I hear questions like this, I know that this is somebody that understands the process of donation. So there are times when people faint or feel like fainting during or after donation. We call that, I would like to use it scientific way, vasovagal reaction. It's a donor reaction. It could happen. And studies have shown that it is common in females that donate blood, first-time donors, or people that donate in a very stuffy environment. So it is common in such conditions. So the best thing to avoid is to avoid it.
Okay.
So if you're a female, ensure that person is well hydrated, ensure that there's adequate blood in the body, not just when it is lower than normal. You know? Number two, we want to ensure that the environment is really, really cool. And and as in there's a lot of aeration. But when it happens, the first thing is you want to loosen all the clothes, you know, make them feel comfortable. Number two, we want to raise the legs up, you know, when we raise that so that there's easier blood flow to the brain, and then usually it's as I say, it's a vasovagal. It's a reaction by the vessels. Person usually comes out of it after a few seconds, not even up to minutes. So the most important thing is that there is fresh air, aeration. The person lifts up the leg, and once the person comes up, you just give a lot of water. And once it happens, you stop the blood collection. It's also very good for the person collecting blood to have a high index of suspicion. Before anybody faints or feels like fainting during donation, you would have noticed that person will start sweating. Oh, I feel very uncomfortable. You don't need to wait for the person to get into that condition before you begin to take appropriate measures. So we encourage voluntary donor collectors to continue to communicate with the donors. Talk to them. How are you feeling? Hope you're good. Do you feel funny? So that once there's anything changing in their normal condition, you stop the donation and not wait until the person faints. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that's time. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Bodurin Oshikomaya. She is the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service, and also Oluwole Olatubi. He is the head programs for the LSBTS. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you very much.
And that's our package. All right, that's our package today or this week on Save Blood Arena on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Dele Agadumo. And big thanks goes to Victor Terry, also to executive producer Tayo Akoli, and definitely not forgetting the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Services. Same time next week, Thursday, we're back with another edition of the program.
From point to point on the roads, railways, airways, and waterways, we bring you up to speed with the latest traffic news, plus views and comments from transportation experts. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Traffic news round the clock.
I beg, give me 200 naira 9 mobile recharge card.